What's going on, everybody? Just figured I'd make my second video in the uh, my Georgia series here. And unlike some people who make videos about the team that they love and they pull for, I don't do it every time they win. I do it, you know, when I'm unhappy because I don't want to be seen as a fair weather fan or somebody who disappears when things aren't going well. So that's not how I want to be seen. So I'm not going to make a video every time they win because I think that's a little excessive. So whenever I feel like I need to talk about something, that's when I'm going to talk about it. All right. Uh, Obviously, what's going on right now. Georgia won the football game this weekend against a really shitty Georgia Tech team. And we really didn't look good, uh, except for defense. We didn't look good again. And then, Sunday morning, uh, I scrolling Twitter, and am just absolutely shocked beyond belief to see that Mark Richt has been fired. Um, Not that I'm unhappy, with the decision by McGarity, but I'll say this: I've been a longtime supporter of Mark Richt, just like I said in the last video that I made. I've um, always been behind him. He's a great guy. He takes care of our guys, and he doesn't. It's a class act program, and I want this place right here to be represented that way. Make no mistake about it. So I've always been in support of him, but the last few years, pretty much since 2012, things have not gone very well. Um, so I had a few questions about if he could get us to the peak, to the pinnacle of college football. Um, I really never felt like that I was really pro firing him, but you know what? I can't do anything about it. It's done. Okay. Uh, I had said yesterday on Twitter. Probably none of you guys follow me on Twitter. Uh, if you'd like to, it's at Peyton RT360. That will be my Twitter handle. Uh, I had mentioned to Uncle Lou yesterday that I was going to make a video, and that was actually before the Mark Richt announcement came out. And I didn't make a video yesterday. I'm here on Monday night making one because the topic I was going to speak on yesterday was completely not about Mark Richt being fired. So I kind of had to come home and take everything in yesterday. Um, and today I've been thinking a lot about it. I'm going to address what I was going to talk about yesterday, but first, um, Mark Richt's gone, and I'm scared a little bit. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm pretty scared. I'm pretty scared because I don't want to be. I don't want to be Tennessee, and I don't want to be Nebraska, and I don't want to be Texas. All right, so I'm a little worried right now. I think anybody would be foolish not to believe that Kirby Smart's going to be the guy, and I'm okay with that. If you look at people who've been under Saban, they're for the most part they're a successful bunch. Okay, you got McElwain in Florida, obviously, just to name one. All right, so but a lot of people are saying, well, defensive coordinators as head coaches, use Muschamp as an example. Does that? Yeah, that worries me. I'm not gonna lie, it worries me because offense is our problem right now. So defense, we're all right now, and it would make perfect sense for Kirby Smart to keep Jeremy Pruitt because they've got a great relationship, as far as I know, as far as I understand, they do. So uh, I think Jeremy Pruitt's still going to be there, and pretty much all reports are pointing to that too. Brian Schottenheimer's garbage ass is gone, and I have no issue with that. I'm glad of that. Uh, I miss Mike Bobo, and I didn't really think I'd ever say that. I miss Mike Bobo, dude. Um, so I think Kirby Smart is a good fit at Georgia because I think he will bring passion with class. Obviously, he played at Georgia. He's got ties to the university. That's something that's actually really important to me. I want somebody there who cares about the school that I care about. So that's important to me, and I like that. And I'm that's a pro. That's in the pro column for me about Kirby Smart. Also, another pro if they hire Kirby Smart would be obviously he's been under Nick Saban for 9 years, and he was a part of 3 national championships. That's a really good thing. He's not used to losing, and he's used to the pressure of it not being okay to lose that they have in Tuscaloosa. So that's a really good thing right off the bat, because make no mistake about it, there is going to be a lot of pressure for whoever they hire to win more than 9 football games, because if they don't, man, it's going to get ugly quick. I was watching Paul Feinbaum, and some guy called in and asked a question that I thought was a really good question. How long is Georgia going to give whoever they hire to do something? How long are they going to give him? I'm going to tell you what, if they whoever they hire, whether it's Kirby Smart or not, they come in there and in 3 seasons they haven't won more than 9 football games, I think they're going to be looking to fire him, okay? Because they're going to have to, because they've made themselves look stupid if that happens. So, I've heard a lot of people asking, reasons other than, just the 9 game, why would Georgia do this to a tenured coach who's been really consistent? Well, you got to look at it this way, okay? 2 examples, one in the SEC, one that's not. Okay, Michigan, Jim Harbaugh. Michigan was in the floor last year, okay? And in 1 season, he has essentially made Michigan relevant, at least in the Big Ten, okay? And obviously Jim McElwain in Florida. In 1 season, now Florida, I'm going to tell you something. If Florida was in the West, it would be a totally different story, because I'm going to tell you that the SEC East is bad right now. It is bad. Okay? Don't fool yourself if you're a Tennessee fan, Georgia fan, Florida fan, South Carolina fan. The SEC East is bad right now. Okay? So I think it would be a totally different story if Florida was in the West. But since they're not, and they have won the East in Jim McElwain's first year, following a season where Florida literally couldn't get out of their own way on offense, he has done something in 1 year. So that, I think, has added pressure to make a move on Mark Richt where it wasn't there before, because the high brass is seeing it done in other places. Also, I think Kirby Smart has made himself available this season, where in the past that just wasn't the case. And I don't think they wanted South Carolina to get him. So I think that was another reason they kind of went ahead and pushed this a little bit. All day long I've seen polls on Twitter, do you think it was the right decision to fire Mark Richt? I'm going to finally make my statement in public. And before I say it, I love Mark Richt, man. I love him as a person. I'm thankful for everything he's done for the University of Georgia, and I wish him well. And I honestly hate to see him be not affiliated with Georgia, but I do think it's the right decision. I don't think it was going to get any better. I don't think we were ever going to get to the point where we were just dominating in the country, because I think it would have happened by now. All right. So all that kind of pushed to the side. I kind of want to touch on something that I really was going to talk about yesterday, and what that is, man, I hear all this talk, and I see all these videos and all this conversation about the quarterback play at Georgia. Now, I'm going to be the first to tell you that it is horrendous right now. Okay. It's a bad situation right now at the quarterback spot. And everybody, well, I'm not going to say everybody, a lot of people that I'm seeing are just sitting here assuming that if Jacob Eason comes to Georgia, that he is going to, bring us out of the ground and make us, a national title contender. Okay. And first and foremost, I want Jacob Eason wearing these colors. I want him at Georgia, okay? And I think he's going to come to Georgia. I've watched a lot of tape on this kid. I watched his Nike Elite Camp. He's a great, naturally gifted quarterback, okay? And he's got great arm strength. He throws the football as hard, if not a little harder maybe, than Stafford. Stafford had a cannon. So does this kid. So, and he's got height like Peyton Manning. He can place a football from what I've seen. And a lot of people say, well, he's thrown against high school secondaries. That's true, but when you watch a kid place a football, back shoulder throws, throw the football across the field, roll out of the pocket on the move, and hit people in the numbers, that's hard to do against air, okay? So I feel good about him when he gets there. But I got some bad news for you. Jacob Eason is not going to make Georgia put a crystal football, or what? They don't even have those anymore. They got those ugly gold stick-looking trophies now, which that's a whole nother thing. The crystal ball was the legit trophy in my opinion, but Jacob Eason's not going to put rings on everybody's fingers by himself, okay? Jacob Eason can help us put rings on everybody's finger, but he's not going to do it by himself, okay? You want to know, a lot of people who didn't play or don't understand what it takes to have a great football program, I'm going to break it down for you because a lot of people apparently don't understand because they think it relies solely on a quarterback. The elephant in the room right now for Georgia on offense is not, well, like I said, the quarterback's a problem, but the largest elephant in the room right now, okay, is the offensive line. And there is something, you think back a decade, all right? You think back 10 national champions, okay? Yeah, the SEC had that run there for 7 or 8 years, okay? You think other than those teams being in the SEC, there's one thing that those teams had in common, okay? And what that is they could control and relocate the line of scrimmage at the point of attack when they ran the football. Alabama could do it better than anybody I've ever seen do it, especially in 12. They were unbelievable up front. Alabama could do it. LSU could do it. Florida could do it back then. Ohio State did it last year. You want to know why Oregon never won a national championship? Okay, because they could not relocate the line of scrimmage up front. That's why. So they were good enough to push people around in the Pac-12 out there playing surfer football, but when they played somebody who was dominant up front, they couldn't get it done. Okay, and that showed every time they got there. All right, Georgia has not been able to reestablish the line of scrimmage since 2012. I haven't seen it. Nick Chubb, if you give him a seam, okay, he can make big plays, all right? In my last video, I made a statement about we could not move the football at will against Vanderbilt, and I knew we were in trouble, okay? We cannot blow people off the football. We cannot get people off the football right now. We haven't done it, okay? We couldn't get Florida off the ball. We couldn't get Georgia Tech off the ball. The only team we really could get off the ball was South Carolina. And that's because their defense is horrendous, okay? We couldn't get Georgia Southern off the ball. Sony Michel is a 5-star back. He's a good enough back to where if he gets any kind of crease, he can make a big play, all right? But I don't care who's carrying the football. If you've got people on your side of the line of scrimmage when the ball is snapped, you're not going to be able to win a lot of football games that way, okay? Part of it is that we've become so one-dimensional because we don't have a quarterback. That's added to it because people are coming downhill at us so hard, okay? That's part of it. However, on a obvious passing situation, we can't throw the ball 5 yards consistently. Every now and then we may luck up and we hit a guy for 5 yards, man, and it's like, holy hell, we just completed a pass. And I'm gonna tell you something. Pass blocking, okay. You can get it, pass blocking. You could give me a group of guys who've never played before, okay, and you give me a couple weeks with them. Pass blocking's simple, okay. You have got to be able to be very physical up front to run the football, okay. And if you can't run the football, you're not going to win championships. And like I said, you look back throughout the last decade at national champions, okay? They all could run the football very well. We couldn't do that this year. And don't get me wrong, I'm not sitting here saying we should have won the national championship this year. I'm just saying the elephant in the room to me, a football guy sitting at home watching it on my TV, we can't beat people at the line of scrimmage right now on offense. We're not establishing ourselves as being dominant at the point of attack. Okay? And in the SEC, you're not going to be very successful when you can't do that. Okay? Example, Alabama, Tennessee, Florida. Okay? When the chips are down, okay, and you have got to be able to run the football against a very talented front seven, okay? If you cannot get people off the ball, you're not going to win football games. And that has been our downfall partly because of our quarterback situation. Now, who do I fault for all of this? It's the coaching staff, okay? You've got some of the best offensive linemen that you can have, okay? We've had, top recruiting classes for a decade. So we've got offensive linemen. But at some point, there is a hole between getting them on campus and turning them into people who can move people's asses off the line of scrimmage. And we haven't done that this year. And the last statement I'd like to make about that is, whoever they bring in, Kirby Smart, whoever, if we don't get that fixed, if we don't establish ourselves as being a physical presence at the line of scrimmage on offense, we will never get to the point that we want to get to. And it doesn't matter who's carrying the football for you. If Jacob Eason comes and he is the name the starter, and we're able to throw the football and we get people backed up off the line of scrimmage, it's going to help. Yeah, it will help. But there are instances where they're not putting 9 people in the box, okay? I mean, you got 4-man fronts, okay? And we can't do anything. And that is a problem. And until we get that fixed, don't look for us to be contending for a national championship or a SEC championship, because, until we can blow people off the ball, we're just going to continue beating, some low-key Division I schools and, maybe slide in a top 25 win, because that's how it's done, all right? So, in closing, I really hope the best for Mark Richt, like I said. I really hope that this hire is a good one. And if it's Kirby Smart, I'm okay with that. I'm actually happy about that. But I'd be lying to you if I say, even if they hire Kirby Smart, that I'm still not worried. So, when it's all said and done, though, I want the best for the University of Georgia. I want to win football games. I want to see them win national championships. Okay, I want to get SEC titles. I want to win. I want to play for games that matter. I could care less if in 3-4 weeks they go and they play in the damn Sensodyne toothpaste bowl and beat somebody. I could care less. Okay. Will I watch the game and support them? Yeah, okay. But am I going to go, throw a party because we won the Stay Puft Marshmallow Bowl? No, okay. No, it's just that's not how I tick. So Go Dogs, and man, I really hope we don't turn into Tennessee a couple years ago. I'll be in touch. Go Dogs.